Okay, guys, what's up? How are you? Let's start off the year with a bang. And today I have for you another brand new review from the Masters of the Universe Revelations multiverse Netflix series Fisto. And this is one of the newer figures from Wave 3 once again. So this is another exciting episode of Tours in My Closet. I'm your host, Ebot. Happy New Year to everyone, and welcome, and thank you for stopping by. Feliz Año Nuevo todo el mundo. Bienvenidos una vez más a Juguetes en el Closet Mío. Hoy vamos a ver y mirar al nuevo caricatura de los Masters of the Universe Revelación Fisto, de la nueva versión de los muñequitos de la serie en Netflix, right? So this is a highly anticipated one because, like every Fisto that comes out for almost every Masters of the Universe toy line, whether it's Origins, Classics, Filmation, Fisto is always one of those characters that always comes out to be very cool. So let's take a quick look at him here, really fast, out of box, but let's take a quick look at the box first. So let's do that right now. So here we are. Here's a look at the box it comes with, keeping up in the same aesthetic and style motif. You know, it's a window opening in the front where it showcases the entire look of the actual product inside. You see that it has the extra hands in the store. It says Masters of the Universe Revelations there in the front. Fisto, and you see it says Mattel there in the corner. Netflix here in the very top. Multiverse right on the top part of the seal of where you open. And then of course we have 30 points of articulation right in the very corner. Now we can turn it around here and see really fast that it has the wonderful artwork of Fisto from the animation. And this particular artwork is probably done for this, figure box art, exclusively. And I think it's from Admin O'Donoghue from Rose School Dinner. You turn it around, you see another wonderful, figure art as you see there. Really nice. And you see the bio there. You have some skeletons over here, skeleton. Looks like some type of warrior guard. Here are the figures in this wave, which is Fisto, Andra, single carded release of Scareglow, and Stinkor, which is really cool for those who didn't get the PowerCon exclusive. And then it says Fisto on the side, heroic master of hand-to-hand combat. Now on the bottom is just a bunch of legalese, nothing else. But again, very nice that the packaging continues in the same motif and tradition that we've seen so far with all these figures in the line as of yet. And it's especially nice for those who are mint on card collectors. So, you cannot worry about it looking different and not really matching, because it does. So now let's take a look at Fisto outside of the packaging and see what he has to offer. So here you have it, guys. Here is Fisto out of the box, and you can see right away that not only he continues in the same aesthetic and traditional style as the original Fisto as we know him, he has also a very newer and modern look. These figures have a look of like an anime style of artwork, like the show itself, but at the same time, they also have a feel to the, Masters of the Universe classics from Matty Collector that we got some years ago. Now, Fisto is a very nice release, and a very nice fresh breath of fresh air, because the classics one was one that released early on in the line from Matty Collector, and it was also one that became highly sought after, and he was one of the more expensive figures to do, because they made him where you could make him not only as the origins to look like the vintage, but also like the way he did in 2000X. So he didn't get a lot of print or a re-release or a reprint, so to speak. So what happened was he sold out very fast, and he became really hard to get. So he's running in the third-party market for a very expensive price. And a lot of people that missed out or came into the line late were never really able to acquire him because of the price point that he is in right now as we speak. So that's great that Mattel decided to bring him out early on again in this Revelation line, and that they made him to the point where he's not really expensive, he's affordable, and they can keep printing him out as long as he keeps moving pieces and sells well, which I think he will. I think he will be the one that sells the most out of this wave. But then again, it's hard to say because it's a strong wave. You have characters like Scareglow and Stinkor, which are two very, very good figures as we looked at them so far. And then Andra is a new character that maybe may not appeal to everyone right away, but down the road might catch momentum, like a lot of figures have done in the past. So let's take a closer look, and please excuse me because my voice is very raspy, because I'm still dealing with this cold and possibly, another COVID situation, waiting for my results, which I don't know yet, but it is possible that it may be that. Now, as I adjust the camera here to make sure we can look at him better, let's take a closer look at Fisto. And we'll bring him up close. Ooh. And there we go. As we focus in on his face, and you see right away that Fisto, okay, this wants to act funny. Hold on one second. Yeah, well guys, here we are, and we're back. And this is Fisto's face, obviously, as you can see. Very nicely detailed. I don't know why mine has some stains there. I'm not even sure what it is. Looks like it came right off. Anyway, with the nice red hair. But the capture of the face sculpt is just like it was, done, in just the way that it was interpreted in the animation, with the nice red hair and the sculpting, and then the nice silver paint job on the overlay vest piece that goes in, going across with a nice silvery look and sheen and the purple, and then the actual belt in the nice purple as well, as you see there, with the loincloth being a dark brown with black wash on it, as you see there. Then his skin tone obviously being a nice neutral color with the what you call these, the bracelets that he has on the wrist in silver, and then of course his fists, which is done with a nice silver and kind of a gray plastic, but at the same time that kind of feels like it might be a little bit, the piece might be metal, I'm not sure. Then in the skin tone of the legs, and then the brown on his top part, you know, where the fur line is of the boots, with the nice purple on the boots going down, with straps going around, of course. And the brown is just a regular neutral brown. Doesn't really seem to have, you know, any wash to them. So it's a very simplistic look as far as the color and the deco, but nonetheless very, very nice and beautiful looking, just like the red, orangey hair. And the scope on his face looks just like it did in the animation, which is very, very cool. So yeah, you know, there is Fisto and what he looks like. And what we could do next is just look at what accessories he brought really fast. You know, so let's take a look at that now, which is not much. So as far as the accessories go, he comes with 3 sets of hands. Here it is. One of his hands, which is a karate chop hand, which is also used for like shields, if you're holding a shield. Then he has the fisticuff for his normal left hand or right. He has the normal looking fist. And then of course he has the, you know, closed fist, as you see there. And then he comes with his weapon, a classic weapon of choice, which is basically his sword, which, as you see there, also has some really beautiful purples on it. I don't know how well that's coming in, but it has a nice metallic purple on it, as you can see. Really nice on the hilt. Got all these red stains on them. Jesus. And on the hilt itself. And then it has the gunmetal silver coming from the inside part there, which I think this is called the maim, going all the way through the sword. With that nice glossy metallic, like sparkly metallic look to him. So as far as accessories, it really is kind of lackluster, because he doesn't come with much. So if there's any gripe that I want to say about Mattel right now, is the figures being only $20 is great, but they lack in the accessory department big time, because somebody like Andra actually came with a nice amount of accessories, but Fisto, I guess, being more simplified in nature, the way that we know him already, they decided they didn't really want to give him a lot of, you know, accessories. But the thing is also that he doesn't have the, like, harness to hold in the back or any place to house, you know, the weapon. So I feel like that's a misstep on Mattel's part. So now let's take a look at his articulation. So as far as the articulation, here we go. We start with the head, and the head goes left, the head goes right. You can look down about that much, which is pretty good. You can look up about that much, which is also, you know, a decent amount. He has a little tilt, kind of a little, not too much. I would say more than the others. Then he has, obviously, the shoulders go up about that much. In his case, it does go 180 degrees. It does have the swivel. He does have a double jointed elbow, which I'm trying to do them both at the same time because they were a little bit hard. So he has a double jointed elbow. He has the swivel in the wrist with the hinge in this hand that goes in and out. Then on the other side, he has a swivel on the top part of the fist and a swivel here on the bottom part of the fist for, a nice range of posability. So he can go side to side a little bit with his torso cut, and he does have like that torso piece on the top where it lets him move, where he'll go down or forward just a little bit like so, and then he'll hyperextend back a little bit like so. Not too much. I mean, the overlay armor doesn't hinder because it's really, really soft. He does have a waist swivel. Then over here he has a thigh swivel, and he can do the Van Damme split very well. And then he has the double joint on the knees. And then he has a boot swivel. The feet go up this much, go back that much, and they have a rocker. No toe articulation, or no toe articulation like they call it. So as far as the articulation is par for the course what you've seen with most Motu revelations so far, and pretty good in range for dynamic poses and flexibility. So that's what he offers with his articulation. Now let's do some comparisons. And here we go, guys. Here are the many faces of Fisto. As you can see through the years lately, we've had a nice amount. I'm only missing one here in hand, and that's the Filmation one, which I also have him. And they never made him. Oh, and the 2000X, which I also have. That he came out, for the 2000X line, but I haven't put away. These are the ones that I have, in hand right now, and this would be the one for the mini He-Mans, based off also Revelations, but with the same look of the original, of course. Comes with his sword, same thing, same motif. This is from the mini Eternians. Then this, of course, is the Mega Constructs Fisto, which, as you can see, is very cool looking too. Did a really nice job with him. He also has a sword. Then this is the Loyal Subjects Fisto. She also looks very cool. See that purple and the black on the boots? I would like to see that in this one. They made his loincloth, his belt gray and his loincloth black, which it was a mistake, I think, but it is what it is. Still looks good. Still is Fisto. And then we have obviously the Loyal Subject. The Origins, which is based off the Vintage, where you see very much so that he's inspired by the Vintage. There's a little chip mark there. I don't know what that is, but whatever. You see, you have the purple. You have the purple boots at that as well, and the red hair, with the stash of the beard, and his fist. And then, of course, we have the ultimate version of him, which is sculpted also by the Four Horsemen. And that's the classics. As you can see, it has a more hyper-realistic look with the same style as the, as the Vintage. Even in the collar, you see all those details. They went all out on this figure. Loincloth is smaller. I prefer the longer one that the Revelations come with right there, the long one, but still cool. You see it's brown with some weathering and stuff, and then purple boots with the black straps, which is also cool. And then his fist, and here has some paintwork on the tip of his fist that look copper. And then the back, where you see the holster for the sword, and you see has other details there. Now, this Fisto, as far as articulation goes, even though it looks fantastic, it's nowhere near in the level of the Revelations. But as far as aesthetic, it looks still to today is an incredible figure. Real quick, I'll show you on camera. What you do is you pop off the head and you will remove the sword, right? And then what you do is you give him the crown head, which he came with, and that's to turn him into the 2000X. This is what he looks like so. He has that crown on him, and then you give him his dragon sword, which is humongous, in his hand, of course, which is really big, as you can see there. Really beautiful sword that it came with the tip being a fist itself to give it detail. Another cool detail about this one is they made that bicep and arm bigger and larger because of the fact that he uses that powerful fist in comparison to this side, which is another little detail that no other Fisto has implemented that the Horseman did. And then last but not least, you put on his belt that he came with, which was an extra belt piece, which they made one for Jitsu as well, which was very awesome, very awesome. And this is what he looks like as far as the 2000X version. So that's what he would look like with the 2000X version. This is why he was so expensive, because they gave him those extra pieces. The sword alone, I guess, was very expensive also. And you can see that, you can have them as the regular vintage style and the 2000X Fisto. So, that's basically the comparison of Fisto with the ones that I have, at hand right now. So now let's, take a look at him next to some other lines and size and scalability, so you can have an idea of what he looks like with other scales. And here's Fisto next to some other Revelations figures: Stinkor, Beastman, and obviously He-Man. As you can see, they scale up pretty nicely. It's surprising me how big they made Stinkor compared to the other guys. So if we move some of these guys over and bring some other figures in, just so that we can check out some other lines and some other sizes. What we can do is put some mythic legions next to him, which is supposed to be about the same scale. The biggest difference is that I don't think they run as big as this they're supposed to be, right? Like I said, Fisto next to some Mythic Legions, even though we know Mythic Legions has different scales. Next to it, there's Mephidor, which is the Stinkor homage, and then we have obviously Vitus, which he is like a Spartan in the Mythic Legion world, right? I'm trying to make sure that it's not too dark, right? So you can see that's what he looks like next to them. Then you can bring in something like I don't know, let's bring in a Marvel Legends Hercules, which is very cool, next to him like that. And a Marvel Legends, a Hasbro Star Wars series, Black Series I forget the girl's name from Mandalorian, but you know, from the Black Series Star Wars line, from the Mandalorian line, as you can see. They're both from Hasbro. And there you get a sense of the scalability there. Different it looks to it, the size. And then we can probably bring in what would be a DC Universe classic vigilante from Mattel, from, you know, back in the day. And we can use a DC multiverse McFarlane Toys armored Batman from Frank Miller's Batman. And there you go again. You can see the sizes. What I can do is bring this down a little bit so you guys can see, like so. And then I'll hinge the camera back so you can see the scales and size a lot better. As you see there. Which is really cool. But you know, they look cool together, and at the same time you can, you know, scale them up with different lines, of course. I don't know, let's do one last thing here. Let's bring in a let's see what else I can bring in here. Let's bring in a McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat Liu Kang, and the WWF Mattel's Elite Ultimate Warrior, as you can see there, an Ultimate Warrior. And you can see that they still scale a very nice size still. Next to Fisto from the Masterverse, or from Revelations Masterverse. Which is kind of odd because I always thought the wrestling ones were like more 6-inch, and you see here that they're scaling in the 7-inch line, so they scale pretty well. So there you have it. Now let's go to the end of the review and give my final thoughts. So here we have Fisto on the spinner, guys. My final thoughts are the key on the figure is that the figure, like most Revelation figures thus far, they have been really, really great. And these are really good figures. These are figures that are much better than what a lot of people probably were expecting. Kind of like the same approach people had with, you know, the G.I. Joe Classified at first, where they didn't feel that they were being too truthful to the actual, you know, vintage style figures and look and aesthetics. And then, you know, even though they were, you know, being modernized, in this case I think they are being very truthful to the original style and aesthetic, obviously with that modernized look. And I think it works. I think it works well because it's, you know, a depiction of the animation, of what it looks like in the animation, a very good interpretation and depiction of it. Like it jumped right out of the screen, and obviously the improvements are there tremendously, especially when you look at the head sculpt. When you compare the first He-Man release and Skeletor, you know, their actual face sculpt in comparison to the ones from Wave 1, I mean 2 and 3 now, with like Man at Arms, for example, in Wave 2, you can see that they really upped the ante as far as making him look much more like the depiction in the animation itself, which is fantastic, and I think they should continue going forward. My only heartbreak of this is that I really hope that they continue it, at least to give you every single figure related in the vintage, and you know, some of the newer stuff like they showed in the cart animation, like Goatman and even a Big Boy, even if the cartoon wasn't as well received, because unfortunately, since it's tied to the cartoon, people being, you know, hating and being haters of the cartoon for, you know, whatever reason, because it's too adult, it's not fun enough, when we, you know, never had He-Man like that. And I think it's very well written, has a lot of heart, and it's amazing what Mattel and Kevin Smith were able to put together with Netflix. That they might stop making the figures and the line might die because of the fact that they might not, you know, do another season. You know, crossing fingers that they do, and they continue it forward. I mean, even if the seasons don't continue, it would be nice for them to finish this out and give us more stuff, and even vehicles, to see what they would do with their interpretation of vehicles. Since we didn't get a lot of vehicles in classics like Laser Bolt, like Blaster Hawk and Bashosaurus, Dragon Walker, Fright Fighter, you know, and things like that. You know, like I would like to see even a Road Ripper, for Christ's sakes, because we didn't get it. So, guys, I highly suggest you add them to your collection, because it's worth it. And I think you're gonna love the figure. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video and review, or give it a thumbs down. Share it with someone you think might like it. And as always, for all of you that continue to give me support, thank you, because without you, my channel would not be sustained. If you're new to the channel and you like the reviews, thank you for stopping by. I do these periodically, but I do a lot of them, just like I do a lot of gameplay and reviews as well. I really hope that you enjoy them, and I hope that that you like them enough that you stop by again. And if you subscribe, thank you, because I know you didn't have to. But since you did, just remember I consider you now part of my family. You can find me on social media outlets like Instagram under C_respect and Twitter under the most powerful gaming historian. You can also find me on Twitch, and I stream sometimes under Hebot Hebot 8 _ the powerful gamer. You can find me there if you want to see me stream, or on Xbox Live and Nintendo Switch. You can find me under Hebot 8, or you can find me on the PSN network under Outfell from Sky. You can also find me on here, YouTube, under Hebot. Guys, as always, if you ever want to help me out in any way, shape, or form, because you like what I do and you like what I present in the channel, and you want me to continue to grow and be prosperous, because it'll go a long way, help me out, and a little bit of help goes a long way, you can do so with the information in the description below, with my PayPal and my Patreon information. Also, if you want to maybe donate something, or want me to highlight something or review something on my channel because you like the way I do my reviews, then feel free to DM me one of those social media platforms, and we'll work out the particulars from there. So guys, this is your boy Hema signing off. Another episode of Toys in My Closet. Hasta la vista. See you in the next one, guys. Love you very much. Happy New Year, and bye-bye.